Okay, game 2. Well, Spirit Breaker is going to be banned anyway, so we're not going to see him. Where's Dave gone?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
No, I actually just turned on the camera and you weren't there. I was like, oh, what's happened?
I'm a ghost.
Yeah, I thought, is the camera frozen or are you not there? Is Disruptor being banned again? Who's a Disruptor player here?
Copium.
Copium. Okay. Very good hero, Disruptor. I really hate playing against a good one. And of all supports, you can have a game where you're losing really badly. Somehow you claw together enough gold to buy the Aghanims, and then you can turn the entire fight with one good ult. So I like that about Disruptor. I think he's a really cool hero to play. But anyway, he's gone. We won't see that. Rubik yet again. Who's going to be the next victim of the ban? I'm assuming Spirit Breaker, but we're going to see. Now this time it does look like you're frozen, Dave.
Sorry, oh, no. I'm replying to a family message.
You had your head so still, I was like, it's frozen. It's definitely frozen.
It's my concentration downwards head tilt.
5 seconds remaining.
So hard to see. I need like a little buffering circle in the corner just to know that you're still there. I remember when they did that in League of Legends, the loader, you know, when everyone's loading in their heroes, they added a tiny circle in the bottom right corner that spins just to let you know whether or not you've crashed or not, or you're just waiting for someone with an incredibly slow connection. Really good idea, actually.
Right. Phone's going away. I'm back.
Sorry.
Concentrated and paying attention.
It's okay. Family need to be dealt with. I understand. Fully get that. Spirit Breaker gone again. Who was the other ban here? It was Brewmaster, actually.
It was Brew. And it was, so it potentially could be this ban if now wants to do the same thing. Would I see the same 4 bans if they do it?
That's quite common. Oh, actually, Hoodwink's been banned instead. It's quite common in the pro scene to see that. A series where the same heroes get banned in the first phase 3 games in a row. Because you've chosen those heroes to be banned for a reason. They're the heroes you don't want to see. So this time Hoodwink's gone. I'm guessing they really were intimidated by veterans Hoodwink plays.
I wonder, that's the thing. So I'm wondering if it's that or if they're thinking, right, clearly the Rubik ban alone wasn't enough to get veteran off comfortable heroes. Let's ban another one and see what he picks this time.
I mean, most people here have been playing Dota for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. You can't ban out a player with 1 or 2 bans. You need quite a lot of bans. You just ban the ones that you really don't want to see. Well, you can certainly try anyway. They're thinking about it. It's veteran drafting, so I'm expecting Witch Doctor first pick. No, they go for Dazzle. Dazzle first pick. You know, I read that guide. I don't know if anyone saw that guide about Dazzle mid on the subreddit. I don't know if it's...
I don't read the subreddit, so...
It's fair enough. You don't go on Reddit. You're a good person. Anyway, the Dazzle mid is maybe not a very common thing, or you think is very good. But an interesting thing about Dazzle is he has a massive amount of cooldown reduction built into his ultimate, the Bad Juju. I think it goes up to 50%. Boots of Travel makes your TP cooldown 40 seconds, and you can lower it with cooldown reduction. Dazzle can have a 20-second cooldown TP. That's the same as Nature's Prophet's teleport. So you can literally be all over the map. 20 seconds is a really, really short cooldown. So Travel's Dazzle is actually quite funny. Also, it lowers the cooldown of items like Witchblade. So you're Witchblading people every like 4 seconds. It's absolutely insane. But then you are still playing core Dazzle, so, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, where does Dazzle get the damage? Because he used to be able to do... The mid Dazzle I remember was when Necrobook was still a thing. So having the lower cooldown on Necrobook meant you could constantly have uptime on Necrobook, and you farmed so fast. Well, you go like Necrobook Greaves and you just like pushed out. So like, what can anyone do?
Yeah, that was more like you used to do that on Arc Warden as well. You could go Necrobook first item was the ultimate push lineup. Dazzle has a 50 damage chance at level 10. Still has quite good right click damage anyway. And then of course Poison Touch now scales infinitely refreshes, and it slows more and more per right click. So if you start a fight you're going to win, the other player's just dead. They just can't do anything unless they have some kind of...
You have to pick like a I'm going to man up into you kind of hero.
Yeah, but it gets harder and harder as you're slowed infinitely more. So Dazzle and Pudge, interesting combo. Quite like that, actually. It covers their bases, but it doesn't make for very much reliable CC. Whereas Weaver and Jakiro, again, not a massive amount of reliable CC, but Weaver can go into the POS 1 here. So a very flexible pick, and immediately Lifestealer gets banned every single game at the moment. Every single game. Always Lifestealer.
Well, it makes sense into the Pudge, right? It's just a good pick against Pudge, because Pudge has a really hard time killing him.
But then Pudge also has a long BKB piercing lockdown, and you can hook the Lifestealer for a load of pure damage. And,
that's true. It's just whether or not the Lifestealer is disabled for long enough that he dies, because if he starts hitting a 6,000 HP Pudge, you know, he's full health in about 4 auto attacks.
Pudge doesn't have much armor either, so it's absolutely perfect. You just chomp through this high HP target.
I think people just don't like dealing with heroes that can just be BKB early on. I mean, we see a lot of Juggernaut bans, a lot of Lifestealer bans because of that. Is that they are good against spell-based lanes, and I guess people just feel uncomfortable playing against that.
Yeah, it's annoying to have to deal with the built-in BKB, definitely, or Magic Community. So we're just banning more and more cores. OD gets taken out this time. It makes a lot of sense. OD is such an obnoxious hero at the moment. Even though he's not really been changed a lot, people just don't like playing against the Meteor Hammer, which is fair enough.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one's picked it in the first phase, actually, given that it's not been banned, because a lot of people have been running it as pos 3. So you have flexibility between running it in mid and in the off lane.
Yeah. I tried to play offlane OD a few times. I had one game of it, and I did really well. Every other time I've wanted to play it, it's been banned. It is so highly banned, that hero, at the moment. I mean, Meteor Hammer's build-up is too good. I reckon you could nerf Meteor Hammer without changing the cost or the effect, just by completely changing the items that build up into it. But just keeping the stats the same, like maybe put a Ring of Health in and a Sage's Mask, and then make the recipe like 1200 or something. And then you wouldn't have that ridiculously good build-up where you start with a Ring of Health. You start with a whole Perseverance, and you can start the lane with a Crown. I mean, everything about Meteor Hammer is so good for the build-up. If you make the build-up suck, then maybe it's going to be less of an OP item.
It wouldn't change it on OD, though, if you do that, because he doesn't care for the mana regen component. He only really cares for the health regen components.
You still get to start with a Crown, and when you send in that Ring of Health, it means it's quite hard to push him out the lane, and then he's building it into his most OP item.
Yeah,
maybe
I
they
feel
can
like it
change
shouldn't
the
give
stats.
regen. I don't think it should give regen at all. Like, why does it need to give regen?
Because it costs mana to use it, but maybe that's the nerf.
I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess they don't want to nerf on heroes who don't have free mana, like OD. Maybe they could give mana regen. They could give a Void Stone, but they could take away the Ring of Health part and put in like an energy booster, make it a more mana-y item,
Or
and then
vitality booster maybe. So it just gives you flat health as opposed to
they could
regen.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe just to nerf the Ring of Health, because Ring of Health is obviously like Perseverance buyers, Battle Fury buyers love it because they're struggling in lane as a pos 1. They buy the Ring of Health. I think Meteor Hammer, it's a bit too much to have a Ring of Health in there. But anyway, we'll see what they do. It will be interesting. I like to predict the patch, but we don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, they've gone for Axe. They have some lockdown, but I think we know why Axe is really picked, because it goes straight through Shadowgrave, which makes Dazzle way less good as a hero. Very annoying to play against Axe, actually, for that particular reason.
The issue I see of it is that Axe is very much of a snowball hero at the moment. If this hero doesn't have a lane, he doesn't have a game, and I'm worried that they've picked an Axe quite early on in the draft. If they picked it maybe in the next pick, because there's no way the other team's going to pick an Axe with a Dazzle. It's just ridiculous. I'm just curious what his win rate right now. 46% in Divine?
Axe, that is.
Yeah.
Very low, very low.
So, I mean, if you go back one tier to Ancient, it's about 50%. But this hero can get bullied so easily if he has a bad start or a bad lane. And I love Luna because she does lane really well into Axe. You can max the beam and just take the fight to Axe. What can you do?
Yeah, having a bit of attack range is really good against Axe. You're never going to be in that sort of counter Helix range. So yeah, I think Luna's a fantastic pick. And I mean, even if Axe does terribly, right, he's still got a BKB piercing long duration CC. So at the very, very worst case, he's got to get his blink up, blink call, hopefully not die, and Jakiro fires out the Macropire, Medusa doesn't deep, gets the ult actually. Axe Taunt makes them all face you, which means Medusa can get the Stone Gaze off. So if they can coordinate that, there is actually some really nice synergy there. Medusa against Luna, yeah, I like that, because tanky Medusa, not really going to care about Eclipse in the mid-late game, maybe early game. And then you just, right-click Luna to death. Actually, don't know who does more damage in a straight-up right-click fight. Neither of them have many modifiers that help one-on-ones. They're both AoE damage dealers.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I reckon the Luna does just because she has stun through Lucent Beam, where Medusa is just like, stands there and right-clicks you. So the Medusa won't attack 100% of the time, where the Luna does.
Yeah, but the Medusa has so much damage reduction. I think 70% of damage goes into Mana Shield, which means you have to get rid of all her mana. And then she has like a 4 int gain, which is insane. And Mystic Snake gives a lot of mana back. You could, the Aghanims build on Medusa. Lots of cores started buying Aghanims. Naga Siren started buying Aghanims. Slark was buying Aghanims again. But Medusa stopped buying Aghanims, didn't they? They went just for the standard.
Yeah, I would say it depends on the game. I still, because I play quite a bit of Medusa, I'd still buy it sometimes. It depends on the game. It depends if you're really needing to lock people down for longer. If the enemy has like a Storm Spirit or something like that, and you can follow up CC with, the Stone Form, and you do more damage to them, it's really nice. It's like having lockdown on Medusa, which is kind of common.
Yeah.
And obviously also then synergizes if you then build into the shard, because the shard snake will also stun them.
Yeah, good against heroes like... surely that's amazing against Pudge, because if it's on cooldown, I know it's a 14-second cooldown, Pudge dismembers with the blink, immediately you just stun him.
Yep.
But he's got to be careful and know that. It's almost like breaking a Lincoln's in a way, if you're Pudge.
In a way.
Yeah, then Luna going to get snaked by the Lucent Beam spam, Centaur with the double edge, Dazzle with the poison touch, so you've got to be careful. But anyway, it's all about protecting the Medusa now. You've got Weaver, you can reset. Oh, do you know what's really good about Weaver? You reset her mana as well.
You do, yeah.
Which means that if she's lost a ton of mana, you full mana and full health her. So I like the Weaver here. It means they need to pick a core who's not too greedy, unless it's POS 1 Medusa and POS 2 still yet to be picked.
Yeah, I think Medusa, especially nowadays, Medusa's played as a POS 1. I haven't seen a mid in a long time.
Oh,
and
right.
I don't see Juju playing Medusa mid, so it's most likely going to be Nat playing it on safe lane. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to see some kind of control-y mid laner. You don't necessarily need high damage, but something that can kind of enable the Medusa a bit more.
What would that be? Void Spirit's still a pretty good hero here. Nyx Assassin going to be the last pick, which means mid hero is going to be a Ross Pudge. You can have offlane Centaur laning with a Nyx, and you have Luna Dazzle. Luna Dazzle sounds like quite an annoying lane, actually. Luna is really fast, so it can just run after the target that's been poison touched. And
does other people's right clicks cause it slow? Or is it only Dazzle?
No, it's only Dazzles, but
they changed that, didn't they? 'Cause it used to be anyone, but then they made it Dazzle only.
That's what made Dazzle a little bit too strong. But then they made Dazzle increase the slow every time. But the thing is, with Luna doing a little mini stun and being fast, and giving bonus damage to Dazzle, you can just run down the two of you any target. There's no way an Axe is going to get away from a Luna Dazzle. So I really like that that synergy. And now we're looking for the last pick here.
So the Nyx is obviously a counter to the Medusa, because you can burn her mana.
Massive amounts of mana, yeah, like 30 or 40% just with 1W. So, that's a huge counter there.
I feel like, I wonder if a Death Prophet could be good here, because you have 2 strength targets, and the Siphon is percentage, right? So it's going to you'll basically become very hard to kill.
Yeah.
But do you get run over a bit too much? I'm not sure. I don't think you really want to pick into a sort of a mana-based mid laner. So one of this, I mean, maybe even something like an Ember Spirit could be good, for example.
They all have mana though. Like every mid hero are int heroes with high spell damage, apart from the odd one. Even Ember Spirit, I guess it doesn't matter too much for him. But Ember, is that too greedy when you have Medusa?
He's ability-based, right? So he still likes to have mana to use spells.
I mean, they all do to some extent, but just the mid who doesn't need too much farm can come online quite quickly, unless it's going to be a Kinder Surprise Jakiro mid and they throw out something else. That would be cool to see. I'd love that twist. But we're going to...
I mean, Kunko potentially would be really cool, actually.
That's a
Give
great
extra
one.
Tankiness.
Yes, no, I love that. Love that. Don't really care about Nyx. Really tanky. Great frontliner. Would be good against any mid on the other team. It's going to be Pudge mid, so, you'll slap him hard.
It stops people running away as well. Centaur ult, you just X them back. So
yeah.
There's a lot of value from it.
I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know if anyone plays Kunko a lot on the Dire team. About 5 seconds left.
I don't know Juju's exact pool, but I know he plays a lot of ability-based mid laners. They did go for the Death Prophet.
Okay. Death Prophet is...
I do like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good against heroes like Centaur and Pudge. I think Death Prophet is really good against Pudge. You max out the Spirit Siphon and just run down the Pudge. So we don't know what Pudge is going to be able to do against that. And if you have your ultimate up, doesn't matter if Pudge hooks you and dismembers you. You're just going to kill him under the tower with your ultimate.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very smart pickup. Gives them a bit of tower push, which they've already got with Jakiro. And now you've got 2 high-value targets. I mean, do you kill a Death Prophet who's running around with the Exorcism and then ignore the Medusa who you desperately need to kill? So I think
but they'll have a Weaver time lapse for both of them if they get into too much trouble. And also, if you fully commit onto a Death Prophet, say Stampede and everything like that, Axe can blink core and gives the Death Prophet enough time to survive and get her Spirit Siphons on the Strength Heroes.
Yeah, you've got to burst Death Prophet.
Actually burst Death Prophet, she's going to be quite hard to bring down, I think, in these fights. So yeah, it's going to be a Nat Death Prophet Juju Medusa, but I don't see the Death Prophet being taken to the safe lane because that seems barbaric.
Yeah, I think Death Prophet needs the levels more than anyone else. Medusa needs the farm, not really the levels. I think they have a lot of burst on the Radiant, though. Pudge, Hook, and ult is a lot of damage anyway. Centaur's got a fair bit of burst. You've got the Luna ult, and you've got Nyx Assassin. So if you pop everything at once, you can easily burst any of the heroes on the Dire team. Let's just see if they can, well, carry that out, essentially. They're waiting in for someone to load. And we'll see if there's another First Blood shenanigan. I like these in-houses, which you don't see in pub games. You don't tend to see a lot of First Bloods. It's just people staring at the rune and seeing who can right-click quicker.
The rune and then maybe someone would die. Yeah, there's not a lot of wraparound smokes.
Yeah, not many 5-mans. I think almost every single TI game had a smoke straight off the bat. Like the gates open, smoke.
Yep.
Which I quite like, because smoke only costs 50 gold.
It only costs 50 gold. It puts it on cooldown in the shop, which is always quite nice. I also like it because you can get your mid ward down completely free.
Yes, that's true.
And you get it before the enemy mid, so you might actually see where they place theirs if you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of the level 1 smoke, or even just the 5-man run out, because 5-man can kill any hero as long as you all go at once. It's just the right-clicking power you need at the beginning of the game. But we will see. Of course, there's
I've
a
always
pudge.
thought it's very value for a mid laner in in-house is to study where mid laners place their wards.
Yeah, I mean, look at this ward here.
If they're consistent with it all the time, that is a very unique ward, and that is actually Ross's ward. So he's opted to not ward mid lane.
Well,
which is it? You would think a pudge would want to ward mid lane, so he could potentially go for a hook, but.
I mean, at the moment, the meta seems to be at the higher rank, or what I read on Reddit anyway, is to not place the ward straight away because it's just going to get dewarded too easily. So you wait for maybe the 2 or 3 minutes into the game, maybe even later, then you throw out the ward so that you can see the 6-minute rune essentially is what you want to see, because you don't need to see the runes at the beginning. Obviously, seeing high ground is nice.
Oh my god!
Copium is just watching the entire enemy team.
Just behind them.
Yeah, I don't know if they realise, but they've basically been pincered. Though I think the Dire are just going to back off. They get a hook onto Roids. Is it going to be the kill? Yes, it's still going to be the kill. Goodbye, Roids.
Didn't this happen last game? No, that was the ogre who died last time.
Yeah, Copium, but it's still first blood. We saw it on stream. 276 gold, this time going in the way of the Centaur, which is nice for Centaur because he's probably going to try to build the Vanguard. One of the really, really unnice, probably a better word than that, awful things to deal with when you're TPing to lane is it costs 75 mana to TP. And that means Centaur, who's used Stomp once and a TP, only has mana for 1 more spell, and that's probably it for the next couple of minutes. But it's alright, he doesn't really need a lot of mana. Centaur just needs to max out Retaliate and just kind of look at the Medusa, which should be fine. Veteran's taking a lot of damage from Kinder. 5 health regen.
Medusa in this lane though is the Mystic Snake does a ton of magic damage, which Ogre, the Centaur cannot block with Retaliate. So you can typically just kind of ignore him and then just cast Mystic Snake and bring his health down a lot. Obviously Vanguard gives a ton of regen though, so I think it's going to be quite a farmy top lane.
Yeah, it should be, but that's exactly what Medusa wants. Medusa's one goal is to farm. Only thing that matters.
Kinder just needs to tank as much of the damage as he can, basically, so they're not killing the Medusa. Juju's just walking forward, though. It's a bit risky when you're a level 1. You don't really do anything, so...
Yeah. Medusa's base stats are okay-ish. Reasonably high right-click damage, but not a lot of armor. Rank 1 Mystic Snake also doesn't do a ton of damage.
No, once you hit level... Maybe even the level 2 Mystic Snake does a lot. It ups the bounces as well, so naturally ups the damage.
Did Tom really put 23,400 points onto Ollie's team again? He just took all the points, just put them again. Well, someone's got to bet against him if they want to win.
Him. I'm going to throw the rest of my points in, just for Tom's sake.
So Tom and you just kind of swapping points at this point.
He's gonna clean me, I'm pretty sure.
That's his plan all along. Well, can Ollie claim a second win? Ollie's got a fan in Tom, I can see. Oh, the battle hung. Here we go. Ollie's in a lot of trouble now. No, he's okay, because he got a last hit. I mean, that's all you need to do. Get rid of the battle hunger, and you're fine. Ollie's also gone for a really early stick, which I think was smart. Good against the Weaver.
Even Axe uses quite a lot of spells through, wanting to spam battle hunger and stuff like that. So the stick will give him a little bit of sustain. But I think this lane bottom could get out of control quite easily. I'm going to be very curious to see what build Ollie goes for.
Yeah, I mean, Luna is one of these heroes with a very flexible build. For years and years and years, it was always max Q and get your ult. But then it started to be all about the farming early on. So we'll see what he does go for. I think he has to go for at least another point of the Lunar Blessing. It gives a lot of damage to you and the Dazzle. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, literally doubles in damage, or triples in damage.
Triples,
level 1
yeah.
to level 2.
+5 to... Oh, he loses his courier, though. With boots on it. Oh, that's unfortunate. You want the boots against the Axe and the Weaver. Anyway, that's enough of the bot lane. See what's happening top. Stun onto Kinder Surprise. Second stun onto Kinder Surprise. He's going to turn around, use his spell. Oh, but then he gets immediately stunned again. Unfortunately, rank 1 stun is only a 0.6 second Carapace. And Veteran uses his stick, which I think had almost 10 charges on it. That was a massive heal. Is he going to die to the Mystic Snake? Yes, he is. And then it goes through the camp, comes back, returns a little bit of mana. Nice kill for GG.
Only the harpy, the main harpy has mana in that camp. I always think it's misleading. I look at it, go, oh look, it's a good mana camp, but it's just the one harpy. It's so annoying.
No, that's true. You need lots of mana.
Yeah.
Minions, creeps.
And it really, Mystic Snake is terrible for mana gain up until once it's maxed out, the mana goes up from, well, 11% to 20%. It adds up a lot.
Oh, it does go up quite a bit, actually, yeah. And the mana cost goes up 10 each rank, so you have to make that back as well.
Yeah. This is the perfect camp. 3 creeps that both will have mana pools.
Oh, the one... Wait, which one?
The ones he's pulling now, the satyrs.
Well, there's a bit of a fight happening in the mid lane. Ross in trouble. Kokopin trying to do some blocks, then somewhat turns up. Little heal onto Ross. I can kill the bug.
Yeah, it's quite hard for Ross to properly die against the Death Prophet in the early game because he does have a lot of HP and Spirit Siphon isn't that strong. It goes up a lot actually. Rank 2, it's 2.5% max
oh, wow.
damage and up to 5.5. That's such a weird scale.
That is, and the base damage is always 16. So
yeah.
that doesn't scale, but yeah, the percentage goes mad. Juju, he's losing a lot of mana veteran with 1 rank of mana burn already. Mana burn's cooldown starts at 28 seconds, it goes down to 4. It's probably one of the most ridiculous cooldown scaling abilities in the game. I suppose OD's Q that goes from 6 seconds to no cooldown also up there.
I guess it's an infinite reduction, right? So it's probably the biggest one in the game.
Or 6, 4, 2, and then 0. So yeah, pretty good. We've ordered with the Urn of Shadows 2 Fairy Fires, very aggressive build. Yeah, Roids seems to do okay, but Radiant have the 1, 2, and 3 spot at the moment when it comes to farm. Look at this rundown on Roids. That's another reset on the Poison Touch. Somewhat playing so aggressively on this Dazzle, which is exactly how you need to play.
Yeah, the Weaver support's really obnoxious to play against, obviously because you Poison Touch him, he just acutes away and goes, well, that's your Poison Touch down. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's true.
Axe has no way of getting away. He can just literally walk.
Runs, yeah, that's why he went for the boots quite early. Now he's finishing his Vanguard. I think Kokopin's going to go for another courier kill. That's the second courier kill he's got in the same lane, and that had a TP in it, so no more TP support from the Dazzle. Also had some wards, a sentry, and a branch. So that's quite annoying to lose that early. Ollie's just trying to fight Roids in melee range, but I think Ollie's actually going to win this. Never mind. I spoke too soon. You've got no Shadow Grave. No, it was enough. But is Ollie going to die to Kokopin? They fire out the bugs. Right clicks out. I think Kokopin's going to get the kill, and that means 2 Urn of Shadow charges, which he immediately uses on Somewhat. Yeah, he will. Somewhat is trying so hard to kill the bug. Kokopin with 2 kills. It was a shared bounty on Ollie, but fantastic play. I'd say that's worth it. Because another 2 urns.
That's the thing, it's the urn charges on the Weaver support. Now the Dazzle can literally never be caught out because he will just die instantly. He can do nothing. Sansa's try and kill the bug, he just gets clicked down by the Weaver and ticked by the urn.
Yeah, and it's very strong.
Level 2 Shadow Wave isn't going to be enough, and he's actually not even leveled Grave.
Yeah, not having Grave at all is definitely a risky play. Backwards slow with the 10 stick charges, so you think he's going to be okay? Yeah, he's not going to die. Oh, Carapace it, but Juju still gets the mana. That's interesting. The Carapace only carapaces the damage, but you still get all of the mana. And does it steals mana, right? The
no,
Mystic
not
Snake?
anymore.
Oh, it doesn't steal it. Yeah, okay. They had that talent. Mystic Snake mana gain is still a talent. 30% more. Ooh, that is good. But yeah,
they changed it to be just straight up mana gain. I think it's because if you use it on a target with 0 mana, you got no mana back, and now you do get mana.
GG, taking a fair bit of damage. He's almost completely out of mana. Now he is out of mana. Of course, he has the stick. Stick is so good for Medusa because it's essentially giving you health as well. Chasing down backwards hello, but he's quite a tanky here. He's already got the Vanguard. I guess you go for the kill on Veteran as well, but he has the Carapace. Veteran actually has 2 points of mana burn, interestingly, so he's really committing just to screwing up Medusa's day. And like you said about the mid lane, Ross, he has 43 losses, 10 denies. I mean, yeah, he's just so tanky. That cannot bring him down. And looks like Pudge not countered by Death Prophet mid. Oh, he hooks one single creep. I mean, it's only 24 gold, but I guess it does count for something. I guess it kills the creep instantly, doesn't it? So you don't steal the experience. It's still dying immediately, but I like it.
I mean, Ross plays like the world's most farmiest Pudge mid. This guy doesn't really look for early kills and aggression. He waits until he gets Ags, basically, and then he starts looking for the fight.
Yeah, Ags is so good on Pudge, though. What a ridiculous upgrade. It essentially doubles max rank rot. So imagine you have level 8 rot instead of level 4 rot.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an insane upgrade. It also applies is it 25%? Yeah, 25% regen reduction, which as we know is pretty good against the Death Prophet. So yeah, it's a very good item. But it looks like he is going to start with the Hood of Defiance. Obviously tanks you up a little bit of health regen. Resistance against your own damage that you hurt yourself. your cam names on top of each other. How did that happen? Reset the cams.
What a surprise.
Yeah. I haven't been looking at the stream for that. Let's try that again. I might have pressed the numpad key by accident, but it seems unlikely. Back to Kinder.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's having a pretty good early game. The Medusa's a little bit low on CS, but I mean, still at 30 plus. All 6 cores over with 30 last hits at 8 minutes.
Yeah,
so everyone's having actually an okay time.
It's fairly close. The Radiant have a lead on all 3 of their cores, but at this point in the game, one fight and a couple of kills, and everything's changed.
Nat has rotated down bottom. He's actually going to walk into somewhat.
Yeah, he sees him, but he doesn't have any points in his silence. I mean, he can get rid of the poison touch if he uses the shard. Oh, actually, it's really good. The illusion rune. It just means that Ollie's ultimate does practically no damage. Ollie is running under the tower. He's very, very low, dying to battle hunger. Nice stun coming out from Veteran. Is Ollie going to die? Strength treads. Yeah, he is actually going to be okay. The stun onto Nat, but Exorcism Ghosts are going to be strong enough to get the kill. Nice call on Veteran. Do they have enough follow-up? Yes, they do. Out comes the ultimate from Royce. That gives them move speed, which allows them to chase down the Dazzle. Dazzle's only level 4, being chased by level 7 Axe and level 8 Death Prophet. So there's no way someone's going to go down. Royce gets another ultimate. It turns out the illusion rune was the perfect rune. They get rid of the poison touch and then tank the Eclipse.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate Ollie doesn't choke the bottle beforehand because, yeah, literally won them the fight. I think if it doesn't have any other rune, maybe a haste rune is okay to get away, but that Eclipse would have done so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, he has gone for the sort of old school Luna lane winner build, but no points in Moonglaves means it is quite slow farming. And now that is what he's going to do, but he's farming with no points in Moonglaves, which, as you know, is very depressing.
You have to TP back in bottom here and contest the lane if you don't take any points in
He's doing that.
Okay, he's decided this is pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do lane well into the Axe with the max Lucent Beam, so I do like it. He needs his Dazzle to come back bottom though, and he's TP top, so I think alone he can't really do much to contest Roids.
I think he should probably stop leveling Moonglaves, not Moonglaves, Lucent Beam, and he is maxed out Lucent Beam, never mind. He
should have gone into Glaives now and realised that the lane's kind of over, and now he needs to start farming, so the last point in Lucent Beam doesn't do that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's
not going to be the end of the world. I mean, it's already happened what's happened, right? So
it buffs up the Eclipse. So if he does have an attempt on his life in the next 30 seconds, it will do a lot of damage. Looks like Nat does have the haste rune, really good rune for the Death Prophet. Running in, goes on backwards solo, but he's quite a tanky hero. Goes for the stun onto Nat. Follow-up stun. But Nat's still chasing in. They use the ultimate. I think backwards solo will be able to escape somewhat, though. Does have Shadow Grave this time, so I think he will be okay. Out comes the Ice Path. Beautiful stun. Means that he cannot get the Grave off. Kinder Surprise, so good at Jakiro. Out comes our hook. Beautiful from Kokopio. Immediately gets his ult off. But then he gets dismembered, and he goes down to the stuns they have from Veteran backward slow. Nat going under the tower for backward slow. Is it going to be a kill? Yes, it is. The mana burn came in just a little bit too slow, and the hook goes onto a creep.
What?
Well,
that looks so weird.
The creep's kind of just got a little bit in his face.
Get down, Mr. President.
Creeps, the absolute bane of Pudge players. That's why they even made voice lines just for hooking creeps. Ollie does have Moonglaves now, thank God. Putting a little bit of damage out on Roids. Getting caught. How many counter helixes is Roids going to do? About 6 in a row. But Ollie does have the Morbid Mask, so he will just heal up. Let's have a look at the net worth. Actually, yet again, second time in a row, I think, Roids on top net worth coming out at 10 minutes. Or at least he was very high up there last time as well. So you said Axe needed to snowball. But he's got Blink Dagger in about 20 gold.
Yeah, so, pretty much perfect start for what he needs. So I think it's really now important that once he gets his bottom tower, which is what he's in the process of doing, and then actually makes the Blink have value, not just continue to farm. Because I think if you buy in Blink this early, you've got to make it work.
Why is Kinder's thing not going off? There we go. I have to manually fix my cameras. I don't know why that's happening. Have to look into that another time. Kinder was taking a stacked camp, and now it's somewhat taking it. You have a weird battle of the supports to take a stacked hard camp. Not sure what exactly is happening. Was there maybe a little bit of a dive attempt on Ollie because someone does TP bot, but it looks like Axe does just run away using the pick pole. And has his Blink Dagger up now as well. Blink Dagger not quite ready on the Centaur. Backwards Hello is a little bit behind Roids. A fight, an attempt being made in his life. He might have Vanguard, but he's got no armor, essentially, being losing it all to the bugs. They drop the ultimate. Nice stun from Veteran. He actually tries to run away. Goes invis. They don't have any detection. Really clever play, actually, going into the trees before using his ultimate, so they don't know if he's invis or he's just juking them.
That kills the Pudge. He ran him down with the exorcism.
Oh, well, that's very good. Yeah, got the wind lace up. It actually went treads on the Death Prophet, which is interesting. I mean, it does give you a bit more mana, but also some right click. He has the 30 damage talent, so does apply pressure in the early game, definitely. And the exorcism is enough to take the tower. That'll be level 12 Death Prophet very, very shortly. Juju, he's just trying to get as much farm as he can. He's second highest net worth, so having a pretty good time on this Medusa. Still needs quite a few more items before he's a threat. But then so does Ollie, I suppose.
Yeah, but I feel like your Medusa being in this farmed this early on is...
Oh, look at the slow from... Have you seen the radius of the Aghanim's Purge? And Ollie drops his ultimate, charging down that. That's going to be a kill, 410 gold. Veteran is chasing Kinder Surprise. Does have the stun to go up the cliff, up the stairs. But Kinder is going to be fine. Royce blinks away from backwards. Hello. The radius of Rot is incredible with the Aghanims. Yeah. He actually didn't even go for the Hood of Defiance first. He went straight Aghanims. So now he has a 220 damage per second. And he just hooks himself a lovely regen rune.
Oh, actually, interesting point that it obviously counts as the Spirit Siphon from Death Prophet because she will heal a little bit less.
Oh, yeah, 25% less. Yeah, really nice. As well as it just does an insane amount of damage. Dismember is a 3-second disable. So buying Ags is essentially doing another 300 damage in your ultimate. Plus more, because you obviously you'd be rotting them after that as well. But look how quickly you farm with it. I mean, who needs Radiance on Pudge when they put in the Aghanims? Yeah, it's like super Radiance. But even better.
Self-damaging Radiance.
Yeah, it does actually hurt you more. That's a good point. I suppose that's why you go for the Hood of Defiance, to try and recuperate some of that self-damage.
And then you get the Lifesteal talent at level 15, and that does a lot actually. 10% is a huge amount.
Yeah, it's good. Bloodstone's 15%, and that's a really expensive item if you put that into perspective. I think the mask is, what, 9%? 10% also on the Voodoo Mask. Interestingly, the Voodoo Mask said it's only 2% against creeps, whereas the talent just says 10%, so I don't know if it's reduced against creeps or not. Maybe it is. But yeah, it's a free Voodoo Mask. I suppose 120 meat hook damage. It's nice. It means you do nearly 500 pure damage in your burst, but I think the spell lifesteal's better. They're running into Kinder Surprise. Kinder Surprise has seen Veteran, but he's got no chance. He gets immediately hooked, and he's going to be killed, and of course that's a Flesh Heap stack. Ross does have Flesh Heap. They're running down Juju. There's the slow. We do have the stun as well, but they can't look at him. He loses pretty much all of his mana, but now a lot of damage going on to Ross, but I think Ross is going to be fine. He is a tanky hero. Can he escape, though? Goes for the hook onto Juju, goes for Dismember, immediately countered by Kinder. They don't quite get the Culling Blade off, but Juju is actually alive. That's the main thing. I think Veteran's in a lot of trouble, too. This went really well for the Dire. Royds goes in, a couple of punches. Looks like Nat ran down backwards hello as well with the Exorcism, which he can now use to take the mid tower, so really good fight for the Dire. We're now 3k gold ahead.
And I think they're going to have enough exorcism time to do either a lot of damage to the mid tower or take it completely. They have a
oh yeah, they'll take it. Easy take on the mid tower.
Very over aggressive, I think. They don't catch the Medusa until really deep, and she gets her off. It's one of those situations on Nyx where you really want to greed for the auto attack, and it's just not worth it.
No. Yeah. You always want the auto attack, but the stun is often worth it. But Ollie gets a kill on Juju. That's amazing. What? Then Dire go in and manage to find another kill on Somewhat. Dire are getting a lot of kills in Radiant at the moment. Nice stun that goes on to Royds. Yeah, I think Veteran is going to go down to the massive right click damage. Royds dies too, though, and this is time for Ross to put in a lot of damage onto Nat. I don't think Nat's escaping here.
Strength here
or is he? So oh, maybe he is. Yeah, you're right. The healing is absolutely absurd. I just don't think you have the burst damage to kill Nat. Massive heal comes out, but is it enough? Backward slow. Of course, he can't kill himself. The hook. Nat just walks away. Kokopium's going to get yet another kill. Really nice item to get on Weaver. I mean, this went really badly for the Radiant, except for the fact that Ollie got a solo kill on Juju, which now makes Ollie 3 levels higher than him. So Ollie,
that's actually huge.
The MVP of the Radiant team. He wasn't in the fight.
Net worth now as well.
Yeah, that was exactly what he needed. Killing the other POS1 solo. I don't know why he went a random Bassi, but I suppose it does help with mana regen, so fair enough.
Yeah, maybe the full Bassi is a bit of a grief because you get more. Oh, actually, no. How much mana regen do you get? Because you get the aura as well, don't you? So it's 1.5. I think.
1.5,
so it's quite
yeah.
a lot more actually.
Do you remember the old Bassi I mean, it gave 6 damage and 2 armor in an aura as well. It gave
insane.
armor, damage, and regen, but it didn't build into anything. But it by itself was fantastic for some heroes and lanes.
Yeah.
Now it is literally just a mana regen ring.
Bring back Ring of Aquila as a normal. Speaking of the devil.
Oh yeah,
as a
he
normal
literally
item.
said that. Ring of Aquila was interesting. I guess mana regen and as well as being able to buy a Wraith Band was a really nice combo. They have now kind of brought that back in the Falcon's Blade. And they buff Falcon's Blade 1,000 million times. They're great for heroes like
so
Clinks.
good now.
Sometimes even heroes like Medusa will be seen with it, but not needing it this time.
Interesting, Clinks doesn't need it because of the mana regen talent, but it's still like quite nice. It feels nice at least, so you can spam your spells a lot more. But it is 1,000 gold that you just don't need to spend.
1,000 gold, but it does give you pretty good stats. Nice early game item anyway. But Medusa now has the Manta style, so gone for the sort of farming build on Medusa. No early Scardy Daedalus.
Might not die instantly to all of your clips now.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Illusions to soak up some beams.
Illusions are very good against Luna's ult, but then Luna is also killing the illusions pretty quick with the Moonglaves, and Ollie doing really well this game. I'm a bit of a pos one, bit of a farming player, but again, they're going to fight without their team. They smoke immediately into that. I think they're going to run away, but they can't because Royd's gone in with a fantastic call. Backward slow drops his ultimate, but looks like a lot of damage coming out from Di. They almost kill Nap. They don't quite have enough damage. Are they going to bring him down? Yes, they are. Out comes the beams from Ollie because Ollie has turned up, but Juju's here as well. Backward slow, he's on about 1 HP, gets graved. Looks like somewhat, maybe he will be the casualty instead. Pops out 120 heal. Cocopium going for a solo kill and somewhat, but realizes that he's actually not going to go for it. I'm surprised that went so well for the Radiant, because the Dire smoked into the Radiant on the high ground, and I thought that's it, Radiant are going to die here. We're chasing Cocopium. He uses his ultimate, but he can just stealth again. Veteran goes in, tries to get the stun, doesn't manage to stun it. Royce is using his ult to heal. Oh, a lot of damage. Gets just enough mana to use another Sakuchi, so will escape with his life. But that's exactly what Radiant needed. They were behind in gold before that fight. How much did they get for that? About 1,600, 1,700 gold change, maybe even more. And as well as Ollie was in that fight this time. So how high level is he? Yep.
16.
That's 3 levels on the Medusa, so he has a really nice advantage. He's got his own Manta style as well now. Manta style, Mask of Madness, and Dragonlance, so looking really good for the Luna.
That fight is so different. If Nat opts to use the Spirit Siphon instead of the Exorcism before using, if he gets the Spirit Siphon off, he heals and has a chance to stay in the fight, but he uses the ult lands and instantly gets double edge and died, and there's another kill. The Axe is now starting to struggle. He went Boots of Travel on Axe. Okay.
Boots of Travel Vanguard, okay. Yeah. Axe, he's not a massive travels hero. He's not Sand King.
It's very greedy, right? He just wants to be around the map farming. Essentially, is what Travel's saying, but you're spending... Like, Travels is such an expensive item. If you aren't snowballing fights with it, it doesn't pay off. You are not... You're spending a lot of gold and not getting any stats.
It's good on some heroes. Like, Sand King, we say it's really good because he's so slippery. He can farm a wave in like 3 seconds and be out of there. Axe isn't quite that hero. Axe doesn't need a massive amount of move speed either. It's not like a Death Prophet is great with Travels just because move speed is such an amazing item. Same with Leshrac. Leshrac needs the move speed almost more than he needs the TP. But Axe, yeah, I agree. Bit of a greedy item. Pos 3s, I don't tend to buy Travels very often because you want those disabling items as quickly as possible. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see if he can do anything with it. Is it countering anyone else's Travels? Radiant don't have any Travels, do they?
No,
so,
he's just gone very greedy building the Travels.
If Radiant had a Travels hero who was split pushed the entire time, then he cooks his brother yet again. Royd's taking so much damage. They drop the ultimate immediately from backwards slow, stampeding in, going for Kinder's surprise. It looks like he's going to be the second casualty. He's only a level 9 Jakira. No way he's going to survive. Drops the Macropire, which at least is going to kill the wave, stopping them pushing, which was a clever play. But unfortunately, he's still going to go down. Looks like Radiant are really finding themselves in this game now. Ollie has hit level 18 and hasn't used Eclipse. Now he's got the really, really powerful Eclipse.
Yeah, they should go Roche. Ollie is like, let's go mid tower, but Ross is the right idea. Roche is a much better objective to get at this point. Level 20 with your Manta and level 18 on Ollie. Just with an Aegis, he can just push the buildings with no fear.
Yeah, definitely wants to get that that Aegis. 100 Lucent Beam damage is an amazing talent. That makes Eclipse, what, 33% more damage.
It's an absolute ton.
Yeah, Global Lunar Blessing I can see in very few lineups. If you've got like a massively global team, like maybe a Nature's Prophet, who says, yes, please can I have that 35 and then eventually 70 damage anywhere I go. But other than that, yeah, 100 Lucent Beam damage, got to be the way. And Royds, again, with his Travels, he's only level 13 though. He's a very low level hero despite having Travels. But then backwards hello is also only level 13. I suppose it's the life of the initiator. You are going to die.
Yep.
But you say it's fine. Both going for BKB, interestingly enough, because they want to engage and not immediately get killed, which I suppose makes sense. If you have BKB up, I'm supposing you don't double edge yourself, do you? Doesn't pierce spell immunity.
I assume not. I think the main reason you want is you cannot Spirit Siphon through it, right? So you negate the Death Prophet being able to get a ton of healing as a kill on the Weaver.
Ross just blinks in.
Dagger.
Yeah, oh, he's gone for Eternal Shroud. Oh, but now he's in a lot of trouble. Goes for the hook. Yeah, there's no way he survives this. Not 4 versus 1 anyway. That's a nice kill on Ross. Royd's finally getting a bit of revenge. But there you go, Boots of Travel. Obviously so good. A lot of TPs coming out. Can they chase down Ollie? Backward slows is going to immediately TP out. Ollie drops the Manta. No, they're not going to find anyone. No, they are. Never mind. They find Ollie, but he does have the Aegis. Is there enough time for his team to get him? Ollie doesn't seem like he's in too much danger. He nearly just straight up kills Nat. But now he's got to deal with all the follow-up that's going to happen on top of his corpse. He doesn't have BKB either. He can try and drop the ult. He does drop the ult. It does one beam, and then he immediately dies. So, greatest Lucent beam of all time of Eclipse. I mean, if he had Aghanims, maybe it would keep going, but he doesn't.
They're going to catch more.
Yeah, that's going to be a kill on somewhat as well. They are so fast, especially Exorcism on top of the Kaya Sanj and Yules. Very fast hero.
Yeah, the second that the Centaur hit the I'm out of here button, Ollie was dead. There's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, Centaur didn't have the Stampede. If he did, they would have been fine, but unfortunately not. I definitely like the idea that if you get the BKBs up on the Radiant team, you stop the Death Prophet having the option of healing, which I think is really smart. Looks like Aghanim's being built on Nyx. That seems to be pretty standard for Nyx support these days. Just sieging yourself on the low ground or the high ground. And being the most irritating hero.
Everything gains a billion cast range, right? So you can put yourself invisible and outside of the fight, but still casting all of your spells.
Well, Spike Carapace as well becomes an AoE just click stun. And I think you take half damage when burrowed or something insane like that.
You become very tanky, yeah.
And you're constantly invisible. It's just the most annoying hero to kill. And it doesn't take you that long to unburrow. You're kind of like a siege tank. It's like Sergeant Hammer. Without the constant right-clicking damage. We don't have any heroes like that, do we? I guess Sniper's the closest, where he attacks a bit slower when he presses take aim. But there's no like... You move slower. Yeah. But you don't have the Sergeant Hammer like literally siege up and then become like a right-clicking machine. I would love to see that. I think it was a...
Fortify mode.
Yeah, HOTS definitely had heroes that were quite unique in the way that they played, which I quite liked. Looks like Juju's in a bit of trouble. And by a bit of trouble, I mean a lot of trouble. Use the mana burn? Absolutely no mana on the Medusa. Go straight down. God, Nyx is so good against Medusa. Not quite an anti-mage, but close enough. For a support. Can't think of a better pick against the Medusa. Not like they needed it anyway. They had a 5-man gank attempt on a single hero, so...
Yeah, they weren't ready for that at all. A little bit slow reactions, can't get the Manta off, gets dismembered, and that is the death of Juju. It's really hard to get...
Well, backwards hello, gets a stun onto that. But Ross doesn't have hook, that's the problem. Veteran misses the stun. It wasn't quite close enough. Looks like it's an easy tier 2 tower then. Royd's doing Royd stuff. But, you know, he's an axe. He doesn't really hit buildings very hard. 126 right-click damage.
He is mode split push right now.
TP back from Pudge. Pudge then cancels it because they decide they want to fight. Looks like Veteran's being gone on. But the Radiant team are very split up. Nyx is quite a hard hero to kill. Ollie, he drops the Eclipse. A lot of damage going to Nat. He doesn't have Yules either. And Ross is putting himself into the front line. That's a really nice kill on Nat. Cocopium's not going to kill Veteran. Or maybe he will. No, he actually is. Is he going to survive this? Carapace in 1 second. I know I'm not watching maybe the most interesting fight happening right now. There's a bit of a fight happening in the mid lane as well. No, that seems to have seized operations, and Cocopium, he's just going to escape. But anyway, really nice kill on that. 4 versus 5, is it enough to push high ground? You have to push against the Medusa, not the easiest task.
I mean, the Medusa's not really doing any damage right now. Hasn't even managed to finish the Skadi 26 minutes in, so very, very poor.
Axe gets the pull. Yeah, Dazzle a little bit out of position. Chopped up by Roids. Cocopium seems to still be chasing. I mean, Ollie's gone. He's up here. Ross as well, he's gone. Eternal Shroud plus the spell lifesteal talent. That's 30% spell lifesteal. That's quite a lot, actually.
I somehow still have the gold lead, and I'm not really sure how. Another call from Roids.
Yeah, I think Veteran might be okay. Takes all the mana away from Roids. Axe really struggles with mana, and he has no mana items. So yeah,
they need a couple of things here to really get their fights going. They need the BKB on Nat so he can run in with.
Oh, they see Roids. Why run away from that? Maybe it was a kill. Then they hook, then they miss it. And then they go for the dismember, but it immediately gets countered. Royd drops the BKB. And now Ross is thinking, oh dear, that's a bit of a mistake. And the Yules into the center. Oh, into the ice path. No, he manages to dodge the ice path. BKB finally runs out, but Royd is still going to survive. But you get the stun to Nat. Really good chance to kill Nat. That is definitely worth it. Or is it? I suppose it's a mid lane trade. But I think Nat wasn't expecting himself to die. Kinder manages to hide into a little tree there, but I don't think he's going to escape. No, there's no way he dies there. Whoa, Kinder tries to immediately TP up backwards slows, having none of it. He just blinks forward and goes for the kill.
Yeah, BKB on Nat is pretty much essential here. He's getting bursted so hard. And then the other one is going to be the Weaver eggs. And I think Kokoki needs to play really greedy at this point and actually farm it, because as soon as he gets that online, fights become so different. If someone gets blinked on by Pudge, they get low HP, you just time-lapse them. And
yeah.
They're full health again and ready to fight.
It's essentially a hard dispel as well. In fact, it even says strong dispel on it. But it takes them out of anything. Doesn't matter what crowd control they're in. You can get them out of it. Even like Black Hole, Chronosphere, it's the ultimate save tool. Better than literally anything. Of course, you have to buy Ags on a support, and that's the hard ask. It's the same when Sniper support was good. You were still relying on a support buying Aghanims, which is not always the easiest thing to do.
And it's why he needs to do what he's kind of doing now and take waves and be really greedy. He needs to go and be the hero in bot lane, push that in, get his Aghanims online. He's only what is that 700 gold from it, and it is a huge Aghanims. It does so much. They have to actually go try and find the Weaver and go on the Weaver at the beginning of the fights.
They need to try to. I noticed that a lot of heroes in this game are trying to build BKB, but have been quite slow to buy it. In fact, it was the offlaners who actually got it first. Roids is now building it. Nat's now building it. They both have a fair bit to go. Ollie decides, don't want Ags. I've got Scardy. I don't want BKB. I've gone Scardy. And now I'm going my own Ags because he's doing so much damage with the Eclipse. He thinks, yeah, sure. I'm going to go for Aghanims instead. It definitely is a good lunar item, but interesting because he's gone for otherwise a fairly standard right-click build. But yeah, why not? Why not? Never a bad item.
Yeah, I feel like even a Butterfly maybe it would have been better this game. I feel like the Aghanims, he's going to cast it and there's going to be two BKBs. The Weaver can Chikuchi. I mean, the only person you're really going to kill is Kinder, and he's actually got 4 stuff. So, well, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think a BKB or Butterfly would have been really sick on the Luna this game, so she can stand high ground and just hit and not really care about anything.
It's about high ground, exactly. I was going to say they have a lead. There's no lead at the moment. The gold difference is actually nothing. The most it's ever been is about 13% advantage. Is the most it's ever been. This game is about as 50-50 as it goes. Radiant have reportedly 60% chance to win, which is also basically nothing. So a very close game of Dota, which is nice. Heaven's Halberd being built.
See Nat here, but they don't really have numbers to do anything.
No Blink Dagger on the Nyx. He is also going for his own Aghanims.
Roshan up in 1 minute.
Now, do you know what Nat could have done if he was absolutely Galaxy ginormous brain? Is when he killed that creep, he could have looked at the experience, realised that he only got half as much as he should have done, and gone, well, Nyx must be nearby. But that would require you to calculate exactly how much XP comes from a single creep. But think about that.
You don't see the number, right, unless you're holding alt. So.
Yes, you'd have to... oh, I've gone up 3 degrees on my circle. That's obviously not enough. But imagine if you could work that out. That would have been huge. So much information you can get in this game from the most ridiculous sources. It just shows the depth of this game. So many things you wouldn't even think about that you can, work out from a situation. Yeah. My favourite idea I saw recently on the subreddit was about Lycan's shard. Obviously, it's quite boring, his shard. Just creates wolves that go down lanes. But they wanted it so that he has a sense of smell in his ultimate. That was the shard idea. But any hero, you get a trail towards them. You can't get vision of them, but a trail showing where they are. So you can kind of like hunt them down with your wolf form. I quite like the idea, actually. Probably one of my favourite ideas that I've seen in the subreddit so far. Other than delete Tinker from the game, of course.
And techies. Anything in here begins with T. Templar Assassin.
I don't really mind.
Hunter, gone.
Yeah, I don't mind Tinker as much as I hate techies. I think techies is just irritating. Even though I have a very, very good win rate against techies, I still don't want to play against it.
Yeah.
Mostly because of every time.
Free win. It's just frustrating, and there's no worse feeling than dying to mines because the techies was there like 20 minutes ago.
When I see techies, I usually pick Nature's Prophet or Beastmaster and just ruin his day. Yeah, Beastmaster was the best when you also rush Necro 3 because you had the bird and you had the Necro and there was no chance they were going to get away. This is quite greedy. You're actually behind in net worth or exactly the same. All heroes are up, but the Dire are just all over the place. Look at Radiant's vision. They don't know where the Dire are, but they do have a vision up on the cliff there. They see Roids in the bot lane.
They know
So
that they're not nearby, so they're just going to do Roche if they're not around. I mean, they could be smoked. They are smoked now.
and Dire, they've realised way too late though. That's a free Ag Shard as well. Ollie now has Aegis, then now they're going to look for a fight. And Juju, he is not a fast hero. They're going to stampede on top of him. They get the slow.
Need to get him out.
Veteran. Oh, he waits for the perfect double stun, but the double stun has a little bit of overlap. Now to pop his BKB, but doing a lot of damage to Juju at the moment. He does just have enough time to get his ultimate up, but absolutely no mana. Plus the Eclipse, it's way too much damage. Ross drops his own BKB. He is running in, doesn't seem to care too much despite taking quite a lot of exorcism damage. He knows he's going to be fine. He has a Shadow Grave anyway. Tries to get a hook onto Nat, but I don't think he's going to land. He absolutely perfectly lands it. Drops his ultimate. Roy's just going to cancel it, but another stun from backwards to low, and Nat is going to go down. Roy's got about 1 HP. But what a fantastic fight that was. Cocopium is trying to split push the wave, and they do actually have Glyph, which is going to kill the only wave that they have. So
they're going to do a lot of damage though. I mean, they aren't using it.
Which is a mistake, because now the wave is alive. They have to keep this wave alive. They're doing everything they can. Yeah, they even Glyph. That's good. Really good. Keep that wave alive. Now they can take the racks. Probably almost win the game or force some buybacks. No buyback on that, though.
I think you would. We have a Lunar in the base, right? There's no reason not to try and hit tier 4s here.
Yeah, because it hits every... The fact that it hits every building as well is ridiculous. Every shrine. No, they're just going to go for the double lane of racks. Or Ollie, I mean...
Ollie's been maxing. Look at him.
Okay. Yeah. 2 lanes of racks. That puts you in a really, really winning position. That was a great hook on that there. Really
I really like
surprised.
the concept from Dire to fight after the Roche because they had the double damage on Medusa, but as soon as they hit the Medusa smoke broke, so they hit the Stampede, they needed to do everything they could to stop having Medusa be the first target.
Yeah.
But they didn't use anything. They let the initiation happen. Juju gets hooked, he gets dismembered, and he dies. And that is the end of the fight.
Juju lost so much mana from the mix, and then the full Aghanim's Eclipse goes on top, and he didn't stand a chance. Just burnt through him.
No exorcism for 50, so even though everyone's alive on Dire, they have no fight.
Oh, Rod's going to go into BKB, but he only gets Ollie. Ross then goes straight in. Look at the amount of pressure he's putting on. That's half the damage to Nat. The 4-star onto Nat, putting him into the enemy team. Juju drops his ultimate, trying to do as much damage as he can, but Ross, he's an absolute monster.
Look at him just standing there.
He's rotting everyone to death. Out comes the Eclipse. So look at it just melt through Juju. The Aghanims, it's just doing so much work. 3 buybacks coming out from the Dire. They're running onto Ross. I think Ross is in a lot of trouble here. So is Veteran. That's a massive silence from Nat. I think that's going to be a triple kill. 2 chops immediately from Roids. But Ollie is going to come back to life. Buyback actually from the Pudge. Ross coming back into the fight, which is really good. They're going to go for an all-in. Ollie seems to be okay. Does not get called by Axe. Roids gets ulted by the Weaver. Doesn't realize that and ends up calling nothing. Backwards to low is going to go down. And Ollie taking quite a lot of damage too. He's standing his ground. Does not have Satanic. It's going to be close. Oh, this is time for Pudge to just stay in until he dies. It's really, really close, this. But, I mean, that is a lot of buybacks used from the Dark. Great. Nice path by Kid of Surprise. Is going to be enough to kill Ollie. Ollie's going to have to turn around. He's got no choice. Nice grave. Pops the Mask of Madness. But I think...
Juju, get in there!
Oh, the 4-star away from the Ice Path. Fantastic. He's going to TP out. Is he going to have time to escape? Yes, he will. What a fight that was.
Why did Juju just go back to base? The Luna's 1 HP. You're like, oh, I don't know. I mean, they defend, right? That's the important thing. They do lose the lane of Rex, and they did buy back on 2 heroes, but they haven't lost the game, which is probably the best outcome for them right now.
That's true. It is also a dieback on Ross, which is always nice. So the gold difference was almost completely the same. Same with the experience. But yeah, they're still 2 racks down. They didn't actually gain any advantage from it. They had to use more buybacks than the enemy team. Ollie's still alive. Level 25 Luna, who'll now have an MKB. Is there a butterfly he's worried about? There isn't actually, but I suppose MKB is always massive damage no matter what.
He's already eaten the eggs that he bought.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose he wants the Mask of Madness and Dragon Lance, but you lose a lot of eggs. That's a very expensive thing to do. But I mean, he's this far ahead. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. And now with a double damage rune, I guess he's going to charge down the mid lane. I think you should just try and take that tier 2 tower out. Opens up the map as much as you possibly can. You've already got the outpost. Actually smokes himself. Well, smokes with the Dazzle and the Nyx, who does have the Aghanims and the Ether Lens already. That's going to give a lot of... Look at the mana.
Ollie's
the mana
just in the base.
Pale Ollie's just running by himself. Drops his ultimate. Just right-clicks Kinder to death.
That's cyberbullying.
Just runs at Nat, kills Nat in about 1 second, or at least Nat's put himself in the BKB. Ollie seems to be killing the bug before killing Nat. Turns around and goes, yeah, I might as well kill Nat. Nat goes down. Roids does the call, but no blade mail. Oh, Shallow Grave is not going to be enough though. Roy just chops him. Ollie's actually died. 2 more buybacks coming out from the Dire. That's every single buyback used by Dire now at this point. And Veteran, he's just going to stand his ground. He's taking quite a lot of damage though, I think he'll find. Is he going to unburrow? No, he's just going to stand there. Misses the stun on everybody, even though there's 5 heroes to hit. And then goes down. So that was a very interesting exchange. So he just ran in by himself, did manage to get a kill. To be fair, he got 2 kills and 2 buybacks from that. So
that's the most ridiculous part of it. They were really in no danger, and they panic buybacks. Ollie gets 2 kills. I mean, what on earth?
I think that's no buybacks now. If we just have a look at the die, yeah, every single one is on cooldown for at least 4 minutes, whereas Radiant, it's only Ross who is on cooldown. So I think they should just go for an all-in fight now, because all they need to do is throw everything in, buyback if they need to, TP back in, especially when they're defending a base like this one, this tower. But they're going to try to take the tier 2, going to put some pressure on. They're quite far behind the Dire at this point. They don't have any level 25s yet, whereas there's 2 on the Radiant. What did Ross go for? Yeah, massive dismember damage. And heal, of course.
Makes sense. With the BKB as well. He can
the blink away. Good reactions from Ross. Does get a bug on him, which he thinks is probably free farm. 33 gold, thank you. They use their own glyph. So nothing else from the Dire. They can't take Roche, this is the problem.
There's just nothing to do. Spread out and farm. Maybe tier 4 items.
But they definitely don't want to be giving an Aghanims away for free. There's already 3 Ags on the Radiant team. I don't think you give it to Dazzle. Dazzle Ags can be pretty good, actually. I suppose you can dispel Death Prophet's silence and all of Jakiro's dots if you're far enough away, but the Centaur Ags is way better. And this is Baquatello going for his fabled Arcane Blink Centaur. Because apparently...
Instant hoof stomp.
Apparently, yeah. Oh, they can react to the hoof stomp, so I go Arcane Blink. No, don't go Scythe of Ice. No. Go for Arcane Blink.
Hey, you can AoE hoof stomp 5 people. You can't blink AoE hex 5
That's true.
people.
I suppose it doesn't mean it only has a 9-second cooldown. They're going straight into Roids. They've managed to find him. And yeah, he's just going to go down. Like, Nat's in a lot of trouble as well. Get hexed by Somewhat's Shard. Stun from backwards. Hello.
And that's
going to be a kill. Yeah, drop the Grave for the heal, obviously. 250 heal. Very nice.
Very anticlimactic end to the game. Just, respawn, walk down mid, get 2 heroes, and hit the throne. So
yeah, sometimes that does happen. Oh, Juju does dodge the hook. He's paying attention. They drop the Eclipse. Look how much damage it does to Juju. By the time Juju has time to react, he just dies. I mean, he's got his ultimate up. He's right-clicking, but he's got no chance here. Completely out of mana.
Not very farmed on the Medusa, it's got to be said.
No, Kokopian goes down as well. I mean, he's got a decent amount of gold, 20k gold, but it's just not enough. Ollie's on 30k. With their consumed Ags already. And Juju's going to go down yet again. The amount of mana Veteran takes away, and from this range, it also has a 4-second cooldown. Less, actually. He managed to pick up a Spell Prism. So he just burrows himself in and just burns mana over and over and over. What the bane of Medusa's life. And they get another kill before the throne explodes? Yes, they can. Just enough time. I didn't even realize Juju's camera went sideways, but anyway, that's happened. Yeah, looks like that will be the game. So whose team was that? Was that another Ollie win?
It was another Ollie win.
So well done, Tom. Claim all of your points. I think you've gained about 30k points today.
He's yoinked all of them. He's welcome to them. Enjoy.
Nice one. Well, you're a good sport for allowing him the opportunity to take those. Well, we look at the gold graph up till about 33, 34 minutes. It was a completely even game. Then the Radiant just sort of ran away with it, and some incredibly stupid fights, like Ollie running in with the beak of the with the double damage ring.
Very clowny fights. I mean, look at the win probability graph. What happened at the 35-minute mark that spiked it that hard? It was the it was running in a Roche, wasn't it? They got Roche at 35 minutes, and then they didn't defend their Medusa, died, everyone died. They took 2 lanes of Rax, and that was the end of the game.
Must be the 2 lanes of Rax, because I think the win probability graph massively rates Rax, which I guess makes sense, right? If you look at damage done, yeah, Ollie on 60,000, that's so much higher than anyone on the Dire team. Highest is 38,000 on that. And the Death Prophet worked in theory, Pudge, Centaur, really high HP heroes, but just got burst over and over, and didn't quite have the momentum to take down a hero like Ollie on his Luna. I want to see how much damage Ollie did with the Lucent Beam. 24k with Lucent Beam, 24k with right click, plus I guess another 11k from the bouncers. But yeah, Lucent Beam hurts, and Roids don't build boots of travel on the axe. All it means is that you throw yourself into the enemy to die a little bit more. not least damage in the game, least damage on his team. But yeah, he struggled a little bit with that.